Hello everyone, this is Kailash Tulsi Gajara. I'm here again to share with you some of my learnings under my personal project, Making Dreams Real. That's right. Today we are going to learn something interesting, something which is very common but interesting. How do I manage my to-do list? What is a to-do list? A list of all the tasks, that we have to do. My personal task, my business task, my side hustle, my community service task, my job related, work related, family, friends, all these are tasks. And of course, there are so many softwares, so many tools, mobile apps available where you can manage these tasks kind of pretty well, like categorize it and prioritize it and so on and so forth. But one problem with a to-do list, whichever app that you are using, it's saying that the list grows. That's the nature of a list, that it grows and you become very sad looking at the long list of to-do items, isn't it? That's common. It's common that we get overwhelmed by all these things that we have to do and then we prioritize it, but then again high priority items also keeps growing. What do we do? What's the solution? And that's the reason I'm recording this video today, to probably share some useful information which you can follow and solve this for yourself. Interesting? Now we agree that there is a problem with a to-do list. What can be the solution? Well, there are multiple solutions, but some of these solutions put together maybe will become a good framework to help you solve that. The first one in that is Eisenhower Matrix. What is Eisenhower Matrix? It's kind of a system that categorizes your task between urgent and important. And the term Eisenhower derives from Dwight Eisenhower, who was the 34th President of United States of America, and he was also 5-star ranking general for World War II. Eisenhower came up with this particular idea of urgent versus important task. In one of his speeches, he said, I'm reading his quote, "I have two kinds of problems, the urgent and the important. The urgent are not important and the important are never urgent." Now, you may agree or disagree with this particular statement, but this idea was later converted into Eisenhower Matrix by Stephen Covey. तो अगर Stephen Covey ने बोला है तो कुछ तो important रहेगा. So let us study what is Eisenhower Matrix. Yeah, all right. So this is Eisenhower Matrix. Very simple format it is. This is nothing but a 2x2 table, like a 4-quadrant basically, where on one side you measure the task based on its urgency. So urgent, not urgent task, and important, not important task, right? It's very simple to understand. So the tasks which are urgent, will come here in this column. The tasks which are not urgent will come in this column. And the tasks which are important will come into this row. And the tasks which are not important will come into this row. So far so good, right? Now what Eisenhower Matrix says that simply is that if you have a task which is urgent and important, then you do that task right now. You have to do this task. That's what the matrix talks about. If you have a task which is urgent, एकदम urgent है, लेकिन important भी है, तो वो अभी करना है. जैसे for example, your internet bill is up for renewal. If you don't do it, then आपका सारा काम अटक जाएगा. तो वो urgent भी है और important भी है. Like that. Or if you have to kind of submit a proposal to a client, आज ही submit करना है, तो urgent भी है, important भी है. So do it right now. So it should be the highest priority. This task should be in your to-do list on top. Again, to-do list नहीं करना है, क्या करेंगे मैं बताऊंगा. So that is urgent and important. ठीक है. अभी task जो urgent नहीं है लेकिन important है, ये important किसके लिए? Whom you are talking about? For you. It is the most important for you, not for anybody, right? If it is important for you, of course, you are working with a company, or if you have something deliverable, it is important for other people as well. So you have to judge it basically. So if the task is important, लेकिन अभी नहीं करना है, it's not urgent, then what you do? You schedule it basically. Schedule कर दो मतलब sometime later. You only have to do it. So I'm gonna do it, but sometime later. So you schedule it. The third piece, the task which is urgent अर्जेंट है, एकदम अभी का अभी करना है, बट इट इज नॉट इम्पॉर्टेंट, मैं नहीं करूंगा तो चलेगा, किसी और को दे देंगे, राइट? सो दैट इज नथिंग बट डेलीगेट. यू डेलीगेट द टास्क टू समवन एल्स. किसी और को बोल दो, भाई आप प्लीज कर लेना, समथिंग लाइक दैट. मेनी टास्क, राइट, जो आप खुद नहीं करेंगे तो चलेगा, बट वो अर्जेंट है, लाइक आज का आज ही करना है या 2 दिन में ही करना है, बट इट्स नॉट टू मच इम्पॉर्टेंट फॉर यू पर्सनली. इवन इफ वो नहीं किया तो काइंड ऑफ चलता, बट आप किसी और को दे देते, राइट? सो दैट्स काइंड ऑफ अर्जेंट टास्क बट नॉट इम्पॉर्टेंट. एंड द लास्ट इज, अगर कोई टास्क अर्जेंट ही नहीं है, इंपॉर्टेंट ही नहीं है, तो क्या करो? It says eliminated, delete the task. So this is the Eisenhower Matrix, very simply. You can use Eisenhower Matrix very simply like creating 4 different buckets of your task, like your urgent and important, urgent and not important, not urgent and important, and not urgent and not important, right? Now under these 4 major buckets, then you can have subdivision of your प्राइमरी कैटेगरीज, लाइक उसमें से मेरे पर्सनल कौन से हैं जो अर्जेंट इंपॉर्टेंट है, जॉब के कितने हैं जो अर्जेंट इंपॉर्टेंट है, सोशल के कितने हैं जो अर्जेंट इंपॉर्टेंट है, लाइक दैट. सो यू कैन क्रिएट दैट सब कैटेगरी एज वेल. नाउ यू विल से ओके, ये काइंड ऑफ थोड़ा अर्जेंसी और इम्पोर्टेंसी पे हमने डिवाइड कर लिया, बट व्हाट्स न्यू इन दिस? आई अंडरस्टैंड इट्स नॉट revolutionary idea, but the moment we start following this, we will soon realize that हम जो नॉट अर्जेंट नॉट इम्पोर्टेंट टास्क थे उस पर काफी टाइम डाल रहे थे, जो हमें नहीं करना चाहिए. सो एलिमिनेटेड. मे बी यू कैन डू इट लाइक व्हेन यू हैव अ लीजर टाइम और व्हेन यू हैव समथिंग दैट यू कैन टेक अप दोस टास्क बेसिकली, बट दे आर नॉट इम्पोर्टेंट, दे आर नॉट अर्जेंट, सो डोंट स्पेंड टू मच टाइम ऑन. तो ये जो हमारा रियलाइजेशन आएगा ना, ये जो हमारा अवेयरनेस क्रिएट होगा, दैट अल्टीमेटली एड्स अ लॉट ऑफ वैल्यू, right? So that is what we are talking about, that urgency and important वाले task आपके bucket list में top में होने चाहिए across your other primary categories, and बाकी के task जो है अगर वो urgent नहीं है लेकिन बहुत important है तो मैंने schedule कर दिया. So that is where my second tool comes in, schedule where, and that's the solution is the calendar. Everybody knows how to use a calendar, but maybe there are some tricks and tips that can help enhance the usage of the calendar. So I'm not going to cover the calendar in detail, but all I was referring to that from your Eisenhower Matrix, you got the 4 categories of your task. So those tasks should come into your calendar is what my point is, not the to-do list basically. You can maintain a to-do list, but ultimately your habit should become in such a way that your tasks are part of your calendar. Come up with a system that whichever is a software that you are using to manage your to-do list, that to-do list, those tasks comes onto your calendar. There are multiple ways I'm gonna share probably in the next video, not in this video, but my whole point is that your task will come into your calendar. This is the only, I would say, the best method to get things done. And in Eisenhower Matrix, we have seen that your urgent and important you have to do right now. So I'm gonna create a task, maybe let's say 9 a.m. today, and this is what I'm gonna work on. I'm gonna spend 1 hour on to completing this urgent important task. It can be 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is. So you add your task onto your calendar. The second one, the tasks which are not urgent but important, then probably I can schedule it into September, like next month, or somewhere. So something which is not urgent but very much important, you schedule it. This is what I meant, that you schedule in your calendar basically. And the task that you have to delegate, that will not be part of your calendar anyways. And task which you should not be doing because they are urgent and not important, and they are not urgent and not important, you're not gonna add into your calendar. Yes, so basically using a calendar will make your life much easier. So all your to-do list should be on your calendar is what my point is. And if you still want to maintain a to-do list, there are like a lot of apps like Asana, or there is HubSpot. HubSpot, by the way, is my favorite app because it's not just a CRM app, but I put in my task also in it, and tasks are generally connected with a person basically, right? Person can be your friends, family, social, your business, and everything. So it's very easy to tie your task with a person in HubSpot and then set a reminder that remind me about this task 3 days from now or 5 days from now, 1 month, 3 months, whatever that. And then on that date and time, will push you a It will not push you, but it will send you a push notification, man. Alright, so I'm not gonna cut this. But anyway, so HubSpot is a tool. I'm gonna cover it later in this particular series of all the tools and techniques to make your life easier. But there you go. These are the 3 things that I wanted to cover, that from your regular to-do list, come up with the Eisenhower Matrix, divide into 4 quadrants, focus it, practice it, and just follow that, and use these tools and techniques to get things done. Let your brain relax and not to remember everything. Let systems handle your to-do list, your important urgent metrics, and your calendar. Let it remind you, and you just get things done that way very easily. So yeah, that was the objective, just to show Eisenhower Matrix and the importance of calendar and probably a HubSpot. Combination of these 3 will make your life much easier. If you have any other ideas, do let me know, and I'll come back with detailed video on calendar for sure. Thank you very much. Bye for now.